Hello, everybody, and welcome back to uh, video number 38 in this series. I'm preparing lecture notes for a summer camp with high schoolers and kind of addressing some questions I had. One of those being, how long does it actually take to sit down and make a rough draft of a game, a full game with the whole storyline and all of that? Not the polished version, that takes a long time. But how long does it take to get the basic logic working and put all the pieces together and see if that fits in the time of a week-long summer camp for high schoolers. I think it's a little bit long here. I can make a smaller game than the one I was trying to do here with no trouble, uh, um, and a lot less time. I think I picked too big of a storyline here, and this is part two of the camera controls. Uh, I already shot the video, but it ended up being 27 minutes long, so needed to split it in two. So let's jump back in and finish our camera controls with our mouse. That way we have uh, better views while we're playing the game. So since this video is getting long, I am going to kind of do an abbreviated logic here. This could definitely be cleaned up more, but a nice, quick, and easy zoom in. If we go over to our character model and go to the preview mode, a nice, easy way to zoom in is just change our Z position here, which has to change by a lot. So going positive zooms out, and going negative zooms in, and then we can throw a clamp on that. Undo, get back to the original one. And to capture the mouse wheel, I'm just going to add an input manager. Um, so let's add a new input for zoom in and add a new input for zoom out. Things we've seen before. And for zoom in, if I click this, if I try to scroll the wheel, it doesn't hear anything. So we do kind of need to search. If we click the left button, it automatically goes down here, and you can see there's wheel up and wheel down. So zooming in would be the wheel up, and zooming out will add a degree. And while it's listening, I'm just going to left click, but still choose a different one off the list. Choose wheel down. So if we scroll the wheel up, we'll zoom in, and we'll have a zoom in event, and scroll the wheel down, get a zoom out event. And this is not the best way to do it, or well, it's this logic, but we would want a lot more on here. So we can check, just like we did before, if event is action pressed, and we'll check our zoom in. And if it's zoom in, then we can take our camera dot position, whoops, dot Z, and just increase that by zooming in was negative, so maybe 0.0 or 0.2 will work. And then we can we'll want to clamp it in position using the same function here. So camera dot position. I'm having all kinds of trouble spelling that word today. Let me try that again. Just type a P and choose it from the list. Dot Z is going to be clamped to, well, we're going to clamp our camera dot position dot Z and have a minimum number, which we can check from going over here and going to preview. And I'm just going to click and drag in until it looks like about a good minimum zoom. 0.6 looks like a good minimum. And 2.6, I'll just set some minimum and maximum there. Undo that, get back to the original position. Oh, undo again. And on that script, just clamp it somewhere between 0.6 and 2.6, and you might want to play around with values and find one that works really, really well. Then I'll just copy that. And this one, I will make an elif. So we want to be able to pan and zoom at the same time. So if, and then another if, elif, but we won't be zooming, we won't be scrolling up and scrolling down at the same time. And the only change here is this is going to switch to plus. Let's give it a run and see if that worked. And obviously, we would probably want some more logic for restricting and smoothing that out to really get a nice zoom. But so if we click to get mouse control, we go in and out, up and down. Uh-oh. What went wrong here? Oh, it looks like I still misspelled position. Let me try that again. Position. Nope. Position. Okay. Sorry. I don't know why I had so much trouble spelling that word there. One more try. And this is taking a lot longer than I meant for it to. So back and forth, up and down. And if we scroll in, and then it stops scrolling. Oh, I copied and pasted that. Let me copy and paste the correct spelling on that. And sorry about the 25-minute video. Just do the zoom in, zoom out. That works back and forth. And then we have good control. So sorry about those typos there at the end. And when we hit escape, since that's in the unhandled event, we have a way to get our mouse back after we change our view. So basically just use the mouse movement, the XY position from the mouse to either change that camera mount so we rotate with our distance, or to change the camera angle. And if we're going up and down, we don't want that distance involved because that'll change our view way too drastically. And for zooming in and out, we just set an event to our wheel and move our, in this case, actually move our camera in and forward and backward. Makes for a nice easy zoom, and then we have better control of the view. So this video went a lot longer than I intended. I will probably split this in two 13-minute videos. I'll see if I can find a good split spot, and that gives us better view of our game as we're playing it. But we are still in the rough draft, so there's still a lot of cleanup to do after the initial rough draft of the game is finished. It was a few videos ago, but one of my tips, the things I've found, is to get a finished rough draft together as quickly as possible. Don't get stuck and spend a lot of time on a camera. Just get something that's passable for now and refine it later after the entire game works. You don't want to get stuck on the pieces along the way. You want to get an entire game together in a very rough draft format, ignore little errors and things like that, and then come in and clean it up and improve it. But you want to hit that first finish point as soon as possible. That way you have an entire game together to clean up. And over the years, I've found that works a lot better than trying to work out every little detail along the way. So I'll see you in the next video, and then we'll be back to some game stuff and have the aliens moving around so that it's more interesting to chase them down and beat them up with a stick. See you then.